Well, here I am in France again, La Belle France. Some people come here for the food, some people come here for the architecture, and I come here and lo and behold I bump into, yet again, Maurice Kirk. What on earth are you doing in France today, Maurice?
Well, I don't know. I'm here in Colonnay, simply because I have squatters in my house, and I've had to go and find help elsewhere. Let's see, when did I last see you? In Jersey, with snow on the ground.
Snow on the ground?
And I was on...
You were walking with sticks?
Lequen.
Looking very poorly, but you're looking remarkably well now.
I was full of morphine. I had morphine sulfate twice a day for 9 months, because a certain doctor in South Wales said that I had a possible brain tumour but significant brain damage, and therefore the anaesthetist wouldn't give me an operation. And I went through 3 lots of GPs, all a bit frightened of... It reminded me of the Channel, a little island in the Channel Islands, about the way that, people are frightened of their own authority. What did Voltaire say?
Your favourite expression.
What is it? Do you want it in French or in English?
I don't mind, since we're in France. Anyway,
when the States get it wrong, it is dangerous to be right.
Indeed.
But anyway, what am I doing here? I have just come over to Brittany and thoroughly enjoying myself. I'm sitting in my local restaurant for my lunch, and there across that crowded room I see... Is this... a dagger I see before my eye? No, it's not. It's my old Jersey mentor.
Right, sir. But the walking is so much improved.
Right.
What's up with that? Why are you walking
right.
as well?
When you last saw me, it was in Christmas 2 years ago, and I could not get this operation done in South Wales, so I came back here, and I was booked in immediately, and I had the hip operation in Pont-de-Vie, and these lovely nurses took my luggage, and I was on my sticks, and they gave me a private cell, not a cell, they call it a room, don't they, overlooking the River Blavet, and wonderful. I woke up, and within a few days I slipped out of the hospital on a Sunday to go to the first races at Pont-de-Vie racecourse, and it was raining, and I was in my pyjamas, hoping not to bump into the surgeon, and so I went to the airfield. The little old man in the corner, he said, "C'est Maurice." No. "Vous êtes un vétérinaire?" I said, No, you are... "Ah, oui, le petit bello à la tête." I said, "Ah, oui." And he got everybody in and told wonderful stories about how I used to buy his old wooden...
We shall have to come back and do those stories, because we're here to try and find out. The brain tumour went away when they operated on your leg. Your viewers might be a bit mystified by that.
But time-wise, let's get the time scale in this. That was 18 months ago when I left you. I left Jersey to go to dear old Guernsey. Hadn't been there for 19 years. I went there to see lots of old friends. I visited the prison. They wouldn't let me in. I wanted to take the old governor, he's retired, out for supper. Couldn't find him on the island. I met lovely old clients and friends, interviewed on television, interviewed by the press. Went over to Alderney to apply for asylum from Wales, because remember, I expect I told you last time, the Welsh authorities had sectioned me under the MAPA regulations, that's multi-agency public protection, in order to have me shot, because I was too much of a political animal. I had found out too much about their wicked ways, their nefarious conduct. Keeps reminding me of little islands south of the Isle.
This association with Celtic communities, you seem to do better with the Breton Celtic rather than the Welsh Celtic.
We're here out of the rain, and we're here in Colonnay, which is the highest point in the whole area, about 700 or 800 feet, and I know this from flying. Brittany is divided by the Gulf Stream. The Gulf Stream comes across, and the bottom half of Brittany is sunny, like Van. But here we're just inside where the weather changes, and so does the mentality of the locals. Côte d'Amour, Saint-Malo, all the way to Brest. They laugh, they joke, they have... les blagues. They enjoy life. Music. But you only cross that motorway down there and go towards Van, 20 miles. And they're dour, like Scottish.
But they haven't locked you up down there. They do lock you up in the other Celtic community in Wales. Why is that?
Well, yes, I've just been released from Cardiff prison. This thing about the hips never ended there, because with the machine gun case, you may remember, they tried to get me sectioned under the Mental Health Act, and when that failed, they then did me for the machine gun, wanting 10 years. They lost that. And so as soon as I came out, they arrested me for harassing the doctor. Well, that was a bit of a nonsense, because I'd had the magistrate's case, its appeal, and on both cases I wasn't allowed to call witnesses, I wasn't allowed to cross-examine any of the prosecution witnesses, and I wasn't even able to see the exhibits that they were using for the case. And then I got out at Christmas. I went in September, so I've got myself involved with the Musa family. These are 6 Nigerian children who had been snatched by the Haringey Council, and I got a phone call to me here in Brittany this time last year. Could you come and give them a hand? And I went there as a Mackenzie friend, and I went to the High Court in London, and this poor couple who could speak reasonable English, well educated, came over business-wise, and they had all 6 children, and they're in trial at the moment. They're standing trial at Wood Green Crown Court. I hope to be there next week. And the barristers for the Haringey Council told the police, oh, we think he's tape recording, because I was snatched, put in a police station by the Metropolitan Police. Next thing, I was round to and they found out that I wasn't. I didn't even have a tape recorder, and then they were narked. They realised they'd been fooled. And then the next thing was I was arrested again, for criminal damage. The Tottenham Police, I went in there to complain to Tottenham Police about the state of the kids and the way they were snatched. And they arrested me, and they locked me up. And I said, that's a glass door. If you don't unlock that... They didn't arrest me, you see. And I said, if you don't arrest me, this is illegal. I'm going to break that door. If I didn't say it once, I said it 3 times. I said, can you bring in a witness, please? I want somebody to witness this. So I smashed the door. They then re-arrested me for threats to abduct, conspiracy to abduct children. Apparently I was going to find these 6 Nigerian children, put them in my 2-seater World War II Piper Cub, D-Day Piper Cub, and fly them back to Nigeria. Well, it was a nice thought, but...
Well, it made an interesting story for the accredited media.
That the C of G would be similar to the problems I had with all that 95 gallons I took to Australia.
Here in France, I mean, it's fascinating hearing about the Nigerian family's problem.
That's a big story.
I feel sure there is, and I feel sure it's a very serious case and needs to be covered properly. But people in Jersey will be recognising certain continuity of problem appertaining to people drawing witnesses. Ex-Senator Sivray and now Ian Evans, who's been having some problems, and he's trying to challenge the fairness of the police system, judicial system, legal system. Very similar.
Yeah, well, I'm now involved with the IPCC, like my oldest son, who's also got them into the High Court in London. This joke where the police in England are supposed to be watched over by the Independent Police Complaints Commission. The machine gun, you see, when I got out of prison last time with the machine gun, they were terrified because the guy who bought it should have gone to prison. I can't say now why, but you can guess. And so they wouldn't talk to me for 9 months. So I went to see him a year later, and they all gave me statements that when they bought the machine gun off me, a black machine gun, a year before I was arrested, they painted it silver. So just before the court case, they realised the video that's on my website is me sitting there with it across my arms, about to fly with the trappers, and with ammunition in the magazine, because I deliberately twisted it so that it would be on video, so you could see the full magazine. But the police quickly painted it black to fit the video to show the jury. Well, the problem was I wouldn't use a lawyer, which meant they realised that they were in trouble. What they call in legalese, they were in some difficulty. I won the case. In fact, I didn't even bother to produce any evidence, which meant that they had to give it back. So the police in South Wales had to paint it back to the colour that they got it from the museum. They couldn't even get the colour of silver right. Because I went to Lincolnshire Museum, Air Museum, and they said it came back a different colour silver. I said yes, but in the trial it was a black machine gun, and I sussed it because they wouldn't let me touch it, they wouldn't let me examine it, and I knew something was going on.
For those people who follow your strange exploits on aircraft, what happened with the little de Havilland aircraft that was fixed to at one stage?
Well, I flew her at Farnborough Air Show. Brian Trubshaw phoned me up 12 years ago now. 12 years ago. He said, "Trubshaw, yeah?" I said, "Get off the phone, John." John is a mate of mine who flew the hang glider over the waterfall in
The question was, where is the aircraft?
Oh, she's up there in Lincoln.
She's still flying?
Oh, yes, yeah, Wickenby.
Your flying is temporarily curtailed, or have you got a licence now?
I have a licence in my back pocket.
Uh-huh. And what's for the...
No, celebrations, sorry. I carry one of these around here at the moment because it's such a special weekend.
Indeed it is. It's a celebrated weekend in Britain. Have you been waving the flag over here?
I've got an original. This is my late brother, who was unfortunately killed in his airplane. He was very young and very short, outside Buckingham Palace, waving this very flag. Sorry, we digress. Flying, yes. My cub is nearly ready. G. Kirk, K-U-R-K, and I hope to set off for tabletop before the end of the summer.
You had a vague project some years ago about challenging Everest. Is that still on?
Well, I must have told you that last time. When I found the gentleman in the back streets of the capital of South Island, New Zealand, the name escaped, Auckland, he said, where are you? I said, I'm in a phone box 100 yards from your front door. He said, come and tell me. Because I was a climbing instructor in North Wales, and his name is written on the roof of the pub there, the Pennycured Hotel. And I said to him when I left, I said, we may not meet again. And he nodded. And I said, where would you like me to fly my aeroplane next, sir? And he, in his eyes, he said, I said, yes, sir, I know. I will go and say hello to the mountain for you. Whether I'll ever do it, I don't know. But that is a dream.
Well, on an altitude capacity, it'll be your last flight, I should think, wouldn't it?
Well, I can't get above about 10 or 11,000 feet.
It will leave you about 24, 20,
another
12
another 18 to do or something, 29,000 feet.
Okay, so as far as South Wales is concerned, what's...
Well, if it wasn't for a wee little girl, I would pray that I never set across that bridge ever again. That place needs chopping off the English map and allowed to just go. The poor locals are under serious... The poor locals are under serious threat. Wait for it. The evil little cabal, the Cardiff cabal, that are wanting to control all the money coming from the taxpayer, are trying to set up their own judiciary. Think about it. Think about an insular environment with their own judiciary. How incestuous could it get? Can you imagine anywhere? Can you imagine anywhere in the British Isles?
In my wildest dreams, I dare say I could dream up something.
No, on behalf of the local people, I'm fighting them out in the open on the streets.
So your next stop after this little visit to Brittany is likely to be where?
Well, I've got to deliver documents to the Royal Courts of Justice, PDQ, so I'm going to the Welsh Opera with my little daughter on Friday night to see La Bohème. Then I'll drive through the night, sleep in my French registered car, which I find very convenient in London, as you can imagine. Do my business there. Then where am I going? Back here. I'm 10 years younger. I put one foot on the quay at San Malo, and I'm 10 years younger. The trouble is, when I get to Portsmouth and I put the other foot on the quay, I'm looking for a stick. No other news, really. Well, there is news, but I'm not going to talk about it.
Okay. Well, we as strangely happens, we go into a bar somewhere or a hotel, restaurant, and we'll bump into you again, I feel sure.
I'm sure we will.
Nice to speak to you, Maurice.
Good.
Bye.
Bye.